Hey out there, it's Wakeangel2K1 coming at you with another review of a toy that I bought at New York Comic Con this year. Man, it's already November. I am really far behind on these. This time we are reviewing Courage from the Core Power series, the first 6.5-inch figure from the I Am Elemental line. Now, as you may recall, the original I Am Elemental figures came in this cute little pouch, and the figures inside were in the 4-inch scale. As you recall, I have Honesty. And this is a really nice figure. So they retailed for $9, so they are comparable in both price and quality build to Marvel Universe figures. So, the Courage figure retails off of the I Am Elemental website for $25. I had a coupon code since I was at Comic-Con, so I got it for $20. So what did that $20 get me? Well, first of all, it comes in a box now. The I Am Elemental figure is in a box instead of a pouch, which has it's a window box package that shows off the figure inside, as well as the element symbols here. On the side, there's also a window that showcases her weapons. It's really a sword and shield. And the back has pictures of all the previous figures in the series, as well as a list of the stuff you can get, and a view of the figure from behind. How many packages actually show you what the figure looks like from behind? That's actually pretty awesome, because we know what the figure's front looks like from the fact that it's a window box, so being able to see it from behind is actually really cool. So let's get her out of the box and see what the figure inside is like. Okay, so here is the Courage figure out of the package. First, let's talk about her trading card. The inspiration behind Courage is Joan of Arc, shown here on the back of it. And then in the front, you get a very cool action shot of Courage herself with a description of what of her powers. Given the fact that she's bigger, I'm in my head canon, I'm getting some kind of amalgam Captain Planet kind of thing, where the 6 elemental heroes combine and turn into her or something like that. Kind of like Steven Universe meets Captain Planet. Okay, so yeah, it's a cute little trading card, pretty good quality card stock. It's nicely glossed, but you know, this is a card. So here is the Courage figure itself. Now the sculpt on the design of this thing is just amazing. She has a really good looking face. The armor is just really nice, and her sculpt is, well, it's a really good sculpt. I love every little bit of accoutrement, all these armor panels, and part of the big thing about the I Am Elemental figures is that they have realistic body proportions that you would see in a normal, healthy human woman. She's not built like some kind of armored supermodel, which is the general look of female superheroes, as you may recall. She also comes with some accessories. First of all is her Courage shield, because all the I Am Elemental figures come with a really nice shield. And a sword. This is a really nice sword. It has a really cool design to it, and this really nice energy flame effect that goes around the base of it. I believe the energy flame effect is permanent. I think it's glued on at this point right here. And the handle design is really nice. Her finger's designed to go in there almost like a trigger. So yeah, it's a little bit soft plastic, but it's not so soft that it doesn't retain its shape. So it's a good sword. All right, so there is a clip point here on her thigh, where you can take the handle of the shield and just pop it on there. Pushes in, so you can have her carrying her shield without wielding it. That's nice. I wish that there was a similar sheathing system somewhere else on her for the sword, but there isn't one. And the sword goes very neatly into her right hand. You just gotta put it in, and there she goes, wielding the sword. Alright, let's get that Let's get the shield into her other hand. it's a little bit tight because you gotta kind of flex her fingers around, but it also goes in very effectively. So there she is, wielding her courage sword and shield, and she really does look like an armored knight. That's just, she is an armored knight with a nice magical flair. That's all well and good. Turning the figure around to the back, you see the element symbol is on her back, as well as her hair, which looks perpetually windswept, the way it's sculpted off to the side like this. I like to think that she's always summoning hero wind. Aside from that, the back of the figure is just, I mean, it's very smooth and nice sculpt and a very, very crisp paint job, but I guess there isn't really anything too spectacular back here. It's not like she has a pair of awesome wings like Honest did. Honesty. I keep just calling her Honest. So, let's bring in Honesty real quick, just for a size comparison between the standard 4-inch I Am Elemental figures and this one. Okay. Alright, so all of her armor and accessories are removable. So let's strip the figure down to its base elements. Alright, so the helmet, it simply frictions onto place, so you can just pull that off. Now look, that's it actually has her hair sculpted inside to ensure that it seats more naturally on her head. I really like that they did everything to make this figure work well. And the head is on a simple ball joint, so you can just pop it right off. Oh, the neck actually has its own little ball joint there, and that way you can remove her armor. Okay. That said, let's take a look at Courage stripped down. This is the base Courage figure. And I gotta say, now new details of her sculpt are revealed that she isn't wearing the armor. And okay, I'm actually zooming straight into her chest, but I have a reason. You can see that she has a very nice sculpted in collarbone thing going on there. And now that we're done with that, we can go up to her head. I love that domino mask look, and her hair. You can see the full detail of the sculpting now. Like, even if this is going to be under a helmet, they actually went through all this effort. And her hair is sculpted to look like braids, and it just looks really nice. They really did not skip a single bit on the sculpt. And again, that paint job is just so crisp and beautiful. This is a really beautiful looking figure. That said, let's take a look at her articulation. Now keep in mind, this figure by default costs about 25 bucks, and I was able to get it for 20. So at that price point, I was expecting something like a Marvel Legends. So you've seen that her head is ball jointed so it can tilt, and there's another ball joint at the base of her neck, even if it's a little harder to get to. Her shoulders. Her shoulders are built into a cup joint that allows them to move around here, and then there's a universal joint on top of that, affording her shoulder a lot of range. Her elbows are double jointed, going for a full curl, and she has like a revolver joint in her wrist with clicky detents as well as a swivel. And it's swiveled on both sides, if that helps. Her torso is ball jointed with a superb range, and then there's a second ball joint on her waist with an equally superb range, giving her quite a bit of arch and curl. Her hips are ball jointed. That's actually a simple ball joint, but it gets fantastic range. Not much backwards because it is sculpt, but plenty in any other direction. There is a thigh swivel and a knee with detented points, but still a very deep curl, as good as her biceps. And then her ankles, there is another pseudo revolver feeling joint that has some curl there and ankle pivots. So aside from a toe joint, she's pretty darn articulated all over the place. And that is actually the most spectacular part of this figure. I mean, an articulation loadout like that is something that I've only seen on things like Figma or SH Figuarts. Figures which often retail for $35 to $40, even $60. This figure has as many points of articulation as one that costs almost 3 times as much. Of course, if anybody watched my Comic-Con interview, they said that they didn't want this just to be some fancy collector's item, but something that you would actually give to children to play with. So they wanted to make its price point low enough that anyone could buy it. And whether you're a kid that likes to play with really cool action figures, or you're a collector like myself, it's easily recommendable either way, because this thing looks amazing. It is absolutely fantastic. It is probably the greatest action figure that I've ever been able to get at this price point. It's simply awesome. I would totally love to see a whole series of figures built to this quality. And you know what? I'd like to see them tackle male bucks as well. I know the whole point of I Am Elemental is to create positive female role model figures, but you know, it's let's not be gender biased in our feminism, because this is a standard healthy looking female buck that's not super, that isn't made super busty or slim to look like, you know, like I said, like how most superheroes have that armored suit, that supermodel look with you know, they're very skinny, they have very large, very round breasts, you know, just unrealistic body proportions for most people. But yes, I'd really like to see like a male buck that is like a regular 50th percentile guy made with this level of articulation, because that would actually be pretty cool too to see too. Yeah, but still, the I Am Elemental Courage figure, it's just amazing. Let's get some glamour shots of her kitted out in full armor. It's worth noting that none of her armor or weapons do anything to limit her articulation in the slightest. The armor is applied in just the right places that it doesn't impinge the joints in any way. And the sculpt of the helmet doesn't get in the way of the movements of the head either. The superb flexibility, and like I said, the armor is articulated at the shoulders so it can move and not block her arms. And the great flexibility of her torso and legs allows her to stand and stay balanced very well. I really don't have anything else to say. I just love how flexible this figure is. I couldn't quite get her into a 3-point landing, which is made famous from the Iron Man pose, but that's only because apparently her waist doesn't swivel around too far. But it does swivel around enough to approximate most human-like poses. The 3-point landing is just out of her range, barely. I just couldn't get her hand all the way down. But still, this is an incredible figure. I really don't know what else to say. You should totally buy this. Like, there's no reason for you not to buy this. Like, unless you just absolutely don't collect toys of licensed characters that you like, then I guess that's the one exception. But seriously, like, if you are an enthusiast for really high quality articulated toys like this, then there's no reason not to. Get it now. You must. This is Wakeangel2K1, and I got this figure on pre-order, and you should totally go and buy it now if you haven't already. Why are you even still listening to me? Go buy this!